And good evening, everyone, and welcome to NBC6 Voices, our virtual voices on our Facebook and YouTube pages. We have a great conversation as we prepare to celebrate Easter this weekend. Well, over the last year, the worst of the pandemic, it brought out the best in many people. We saw collaboration and innovation throughout our communities, and this is the second Passover and Easter during the pandemic. So we are in the middle of Holy Week, and tonight we will introduce to you one man who made a difference when it mattered most. Lighthouse Worship Center, a predominantly Black church in Fort Lauderdale, like many others, was forced to close during the pandemic. Its services went virtual, and older Black members were impacted harder than other groups. When congregant Chris Urey saw it, the businessman sprang into action. He donated boxes and boxes of a disinfectant that he co-founded back in 2015. You're looking at the boxes that he donated to the church. So please welcome Chris Urey and Bishop Jimmy Williams to the show. This is going to be a great show, and we're talking about making a difference in the community and giving back. First of all, good evening, gentlemen. How are you doing?
We're doing awesome. Thank you for having us.
Great, Jerron.
Very good, Bishop. Very good. Now, Bishop, don't hold back now. I want you to let me, all the viewers don't understand your personality because you got a big personality, bigger than the TV screen right now.
Yeah,
don't hold back.
I just don't want you to regret having me on here.
You got that right.
So Jawan, he's gearing up for live church on Sunday. So I think he's saving his little energy there because it's going to be exciting.
Amen to that. Well, Bishop, we are going to start with you.
Okay.
So I want to ask you, talk about what this past year has been like for you and your congregation.
The past year has been a challenge for the most part in the natural, more so than it has been in the spiritual, because in the natural, we face a lot of challenges. What we do mostly at the church is I try to train people to be spiritually strong so that they can naturally stand. So our challenges naturally have come, but we were able to weather the challenge, weather the storm, and kind of get through it. You know, the Bible tells us to endure hardness as a good soldier of Jesus Christ. And this is what we have been trained to do. So naturally speaking, of course, we had to do without some things. And of course, we had to make some adjustments and turn some things around and switch some things around and all of that. But in the end, everything panned out well because we have some promises that came from God that he would sustain us. I think David, the psalmist, said, I've never seen the righteous forsaken nor their seed begging bread. So we've not been forsaken in the pandemic. Many of us have actually prospered more during the pandemic than we did before it actually came.
And Bishop, I know you oversee a number of different churches. I wanted to know, take advantage of this.
Well, I think that's one of the nice aspects of our product is that you don't need any special training. You don't need any special equipment. You don't need PPE. You don't need goggles. You don't need gloves. And for all intents and purposes, you use it like any other cleaning and disinfecting product. You just have less to worry about. You don't have to worry about your pets, your kids. It's very safe for, surfaces, in your home. And it's actually so safe. We don't even have a rinse required on our label. So you can spray and go away. You can spray your doorknobs and high touch areas and things like that. You don't even have to wipe them down. So that's the safety profile of the product, which I think makes it a unique product for not just the COVID situation, but for people to use in their homes safely and with confidence.
And Bishop, when do you expect church services to go back to pre-pandemic?
My target time is to be in full swing by June. That's my target time. And if I can, I'm going to see how the condition of COVID is for next month. And if it's next month, then I'm going to do it as soon as I possibly can. Because we got so many people that really miss the fellowship, and it's imperative that we get back together as soon as we can. Not church as usual, but definitely getting back together.
Amen. And Chris, I got to ask you because Listen, you're making a difference in the community. You're making a difference in the church by giving back. So there are probably a lot of people who are watching tonight wondering how can they help their community. So what would you tell them? What advice do you have?
Well, I mean, follow your heart. I think people by and large are good people that care about others just as much as they care about themselves and their family. Um, you know, Look for the signs. A lot of times people ignore the signs, not because they're not good people and not because they don't care. They just busy in their own lives and just don't see them. So look for the signs, look for the opportunities. Give back of your time, your resources, financially, of course, if you're so fortunate. Um, but just don't ignore the signs. That's to me the biggest thing. And none of us are perfect at it. I certainly am not. But I recognize the opportunity and a sign, and it just I feel very blessed anyway, but I certainly feel that much more blessed to be in a position to help in an area that was in serious need.
And let's talk for a minute about the COVID-19 vaccine. So millions of people have been vaccinated here in Florida, but Black people are still underrepresented in those numbers. So Bishop, what are you hearing from your congregation about the vaccine?
A lot of my people in the congregation actually have already received their first shot. And what we had is one of the guys that I know, and I hope it's okay to say his name. His name is Brother Scott. He called me and he was concerned about the same, let's say, neighborhood malady, that our people were not being vaccinated enough. So he called me about the use of my bus and could we get the people in Buston to place. And he actually arranged it so that many of our people of color can go and get vaccinated and not have to be put on this long waiting list. So this is what has happened. I actually got vaccinated today. All I did was made a call and say, I'm ready. And they said, okay, the bishop, come on in. So, I did that. But a lot of the people that's in my church have already been vaccinated. And I thank God for that.
Very good. So the fear that many had before, you've definitely seen a change as far as, because of course a lot more and more people continue to be educated about the vaccine.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I had to fear myself because to come up with a vaccine that was so quick and it had not been tested, of course you're gonna have some concerns, not knowing the long-term effects. But I talked to a couple of doctors, some friends of mine, and they explained the whole process to me and how it was put together. And the products that was used to put it together, they didn't really need a testing time. So they convinced me that it was safe. And based on medical advice, I did it. And I think
Very good. Yeah. Very good. And Chris, what else can be done to encourage people to get this life-saving vaccine?
Well, this is a perfect example, Juwan, of a sign. I believe I mentioned earlier, I was on the board of the Broward Health Hospital System for many, many years. I just stepped down in November, but I don't believe they forgot about me yet. I really actually did not know that Bishop was having some challenges with any of the members. But what I'd like to do, and I'll catch up with Bishop offline, but I'll work directly with the new CEO, Shane Strum, who actually his first day was yesterday, believe it or not. And we're gonna figure out how we can get into the community with the vaccine and stop hopefully having less reliance on people having to get in a car or in a bus or in some other transportation. We'll see if we can't set something up, at someplace convenient in the community where we can bring the vaccine to people as opposed to people having to go to the vaccine.
Amen. Amen. And that's very important, of course, because transportation, it can also hamper efforts for seniors in order to get there and to get those vaccines. So I really appreciate the discussion, Chris, as far as making a difference. Thank you so much for what you are doing for not only the church, but as you heard from the bishop there, for the community, Chris. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for having me. This has really been a treat, and I always enjoy speaking with you. So.
Yeah, you got it, my brother. And if I'm just the average everyday person, I need that disinfectant. Where can I go get it?
We're in Home Depot. We're in Lowe's. You can find it online at Amazon. You can give me a call in my office, and we'll figure something out. But we're pretty well placed, and certainly a lot of commercial locations are already using our product. We sell through distribution, so a lot of the school districts, a lot of the hospital systems, and a lot of areas are already using it. But somebody wants it for their home, that's the best place is probably Lowe's, Home Depot, or online at Amazon.
Very good. And Bishop, your last words for all those viewers out there who are thinking about doing something and want to try to give back.
Back to church.
Back to church for the community.
Give back. Want to give? Yeah. For those who want to give back, one of the things that's very important, Joanne, is to be a servant and to be hospitable. And what happens is you give back to the community and really give back to wherever you go, whether you're in the community or not. Those who are thinking about giving back, just try to become the solution to whatever problem the community is facing, and you will automatically give back to your community.
All right, Bishop, very well said. Bishop Jimmy Williams, Chris Drury, thank you both for joining us on the show tonight. And that's our show for tonight. You can watch this program Saturday morning on NBC6 at 9:30 a.m. Be sure to follow me on Instagram and Facebook. I'm also at Jawan NBC6. And you can also message us on social media if you have a story idea. Before we go, remember, education is the key to success. If you believe, you will succeed. We'll see you next time. Have a great week and happy Easter.